Hey, it's me, MLB. Here's chapter 59 of Really Fake, and this one is titled Player Player. Are all the Nakoma players touched with sexiness? You wondered, as you watched Kuroo and Darby interact. So, Darby addressed you. You're keeping my vice in line, are you? As much as humanly possible, you replied with a tired sound in your voice. Just tired of keeping up with me, because you're so short, Kuroo quipped, immediately getting a rise out of you. You tried to kick him from where you were, but missed, and he stepped back and let out his uncontrolled laugh as Darby watched on in amusement. Looks like our girls have similar personalities, Darby mused to Kuroo. Mine wouldn't hesitate to kick me either. I like your girl already, you said to Darby. We'll have to meet up one day, he replied, but until then, I better get going home. I'll be back here tomorrow to selflessly support my kohai, though. I'll see you out, Kuroo said, stepping back beside him. I have something to ask you as well. I'll be back, short stack, he said to you, turning and heading off to the door with Darby. You watched them go and then walked back to where Kenma had delved back into his game. What you need? Darby asked Kuroo once they were out of earshot of you. You still got the keys to Utopia? He asked the scarred ravenet. Yeah, Darby replied with a smirk. You want to take your girl there? Kuroo nodded with a mischievous look in his eye. Yeah, I got plans for Thursday night. Darby mused knowingly. Those types of plans. You need a ride? I got a car, so you name the time and I'll come and get you. You got a car? Kuroo asked with surprise. Awesome. Thursday night, 10 p.m. Come and get me. Same address. I haven't moved. Sure, Darby replied, holding his fist out to bump Kuroo's. The pair shared a knowing look and then looked back over to you. She seems like a good girl, Darby commented to Kuroo. Yeah, she is, Kuroo replied with a loving look in his eye. Wednesday, game time. You were there immediately after school to support your boyfriend, who was already well and truly sweaty from practice, his gym shirt clinging to his ripped torso and showing off his abs. Thank you, Lord, for this food, you groaned internally with delight, checking him out as he moved around the court. Ha ha! A loud voice announced from the side door, making you look across to see who it was. It was Bokudo from the Fukurodani team, entering the gym like he owned the place, arms out to the side as if he were waiting for a thunderous applause. I am here to be the ruler of the court, he called loudly to Kuroo, who had now stopped his practice and had a sassy hand on hip with smirk at the bombastic Fukurodani captain. As if you are, Kuroo taunted, pulling the bottom lid of his eye down and poking his tongue out. You dare challenge me? Bokudo asked loudly as he approached the cat-like captain of the Nakoma team. Of course, Kuroo replied smartly. We're the team of cats, and you know what cats do to owls, right? Owls fly, Bokudo replied, placing both hands on his hips and standing straight. Like me! I will soar high above you, right, Akashi? He called to his teammate over his shoulder. Akashi looked up from where he was putting his things down on the bench and nodded nonchalantly and then looked away to do something else. Bokudo seemed a little crestfallen that Akashi hadn't given him a proper reply, but the coaches called for their team members to come over at that point, so the conversation between Kuroo and Bokudo stopped there. You sat and watched as both teams were given a little talk, and then Kuroo took over to do his team hype speech, placing his hand in the middle of the huddled group. Then the match started. Come on! Bokudo called enthusiastically from his side of the court. Give us a good game, Nakoma! You looked at Kuroo and saw a devious smirk pull at his lips as he in response to Bokudo's wild call. Ah, Bokudo, honey, I think you have just sealed your doom, you chuckled internally, settling back to watch the match. Both teams were giving it their all during the practice match, and apart from Bokudo having a little sulking moment, which you'd seen him do once before, they, Fukurodani, won. I guess we're even now, Kuroo said to Bokudo as he wiped sweat from his brow, stretching his hand out under the volleyball net and shaking the owl captain's hand. Aww, Kuroo, a whingy male voice crooned from the balcony. You're so hot, but you lost. Kuroo turned around and looked up to see Darby in the stands, a stupid grin on his face as he leered down at the captain. Would like to see you do better, Kuroo shouted back. My days are over, Darby replied, walking forwards and draping his arms over the rail so he could lean down on the metal guard. I'm not playing a kindergarten volleyball game anymore. I'll be in the college team soon. Smart ass, Kuroo chuckled. Darby replied with his tongue poking out and the middle finger up in playful gesture. Kuroo smirked and then looked back to Bokudo and wrapped the game up before walking over to you and giving you a kiss. You guys played amazing, you said. Plus, you beat them last time, so, gotta play fair. Kuroo chuckled and wrapped you in a sweaty hug, much to your protesting, and then bent his head to your ear. Make sure you're free tomorrow night, because I'm planning on having a session with you and I at a secret location, he whispered in a husky low tone. Oh, is that my virginity I can hear leaving the premises? You screeched internally. I am so down for us getting it on. Unable to speak, you just nodded and bit your lip, pulling back so you could lock a begging gaze onto his intense golden amber stare. While everyone was packing up, you saw Kuroo duck off to talk to Darby, seeing an exchange of something from Darby to your man before it was slipped into the Nakoma captain's pocket. I wonder what that was, you thought, tilting your head curiously in the direction of the two males. Kuroo said his thanks to Darby and then turned to walk back to you, and saw you watching, so smirked and winked at you, just to make your heart act up. And there is the end of chapter 59. Stay tuned for chapter 60 coming tomorrow. I'll see you then.